does it mean making sure things are just so? It's a great question. We're going to talk about it today. Hi there, I'm Angela Brown, and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question, and I get to help you find an answer. Today's show is brought to us by House Call Pro, which is a service software for service professionals. It goes on your phone and it keeps track of all of your scheduling and a whole bunch of admin tasks that as a business owner you have to do yourself. Check it out at housecallpro.com/Angela, and they will walk you on a demo to see if it's right for you, and it can save you time and money in your business. All right, on to today's show. There is a term in the house cleaning industry called making sure things are just so. What does that mean? Well, what it means is this. It pertains specifically to our elder clients who are at home and don't often have anywhere to go. So when you get to their house, they're usually there, okay? So we want to make sure their house is just so they are comfortable, and just so this is a place where they can live and carry on as long as they can independently. Now, when you get to the house, what's going to happen is they're going to want to chat because they haven't seen anyone in a couple of days and they're happy that you're here, right? And most house cleaning companies, if it's not a full-time caregiver, they will be coming like once a week or once every other week. And so we are eyes on the customer. And what that means for us as business owners and as house cleaners is it means that we are going to snoop just a little bit. And I don't mean snoop like let's get into their stuff when they're not looking, but we're going to look around a little bit more detailed than a regular customer. And I say a regular customer, a house that has young toddlers or things like that, because their house will be just so, but in a different way, right? So for the most part, when we do a maintenance clean on a house, we don't open things like the dishwasher. That's not part of the job that we do on a maintenance clean. That's part of the daily chores that the homeowner does. But when you are checking on an elder care homeowner, you might make sure things are just so. We might open the dishwasher and make sure that there's no food that needs to belong in the refrigerator. And so if there are things that you start to see that are not quite the way that they normally used to be or the way that we kind of expect them to be, we want to make a note of that and we want to alert the boss because there are other things going on. And us being inside their home, sometimes we are the only eyes on that person for a period of time. So for example, if you get to their house and you find milk in the cupboard, and I'm not saying go through all the cupboards, it's not really our business, but if you go to put something away and you open the cupboard and there's a gallon of milk in there, or a half a gallon of milk or something like that, we need to make a note of that, put that back in the fridge, and then we need to alert someone. We need to let them know that, hey, there might be cognitive slipping issues. If you get to a customer's house and it's summertime and the customer is wearing 4 pairs of clothing and 2 of them are inside out, we need to alert someone. We need to let them know that, hey, this person is wearing all their clothes at one time, and it could get maybe too hot in the outside afternoon heat if they were to wander outside while they have all these many layers of clothes on. So there are things that we're looking for, not to judge our clients, but to be there to be of assistance in the event that they in fact need our help. And so one of the things, and this is a question that I get asked a lot, is how do we bill for those customers? Because it's going to take a lot longer to do that job. And we're going to end up chatting where normally we don't chat on a regular job, right? Part of the job is the chatting. Part of it is connecting with our homeowners to make sure that everything is just so. And so one of the things that we might consider is that we have a special project for this particular type of account. And if it's a particular type of account, you're going to find this out on the walkthrough. And on the walkthrough, beyond a certain number of years, and your company will decide what that is, there's a series of questions that you must ask in the walkthrough. And it would be a question like, for example, is there an emergency contact number of someone we can contact in the event that we need help while we're at your home? And it's a really important conversation to have because if their kids are out of state, you need to know what the numbers are and how to get in touch with them, what the best way is to get in touch with them. And then before you need to get in touch with them with the permission of the homeowner, say, listen, right now, everything is good between us. Is it possible and are you okay with me calling your son to introduce myself and let him know that I will be taking over the house cleaning in your house? And then in the event that I ever need to reach out to him again, at least we've made that initial contact. And they might say, yes, that's fine. Great. Is it okay if I do it right now while you're here? And then you can do that conversation right there with the parent in the house. And so that way, when you call, it's not like, hey, we didn't know about this, but it's also to verify that, hey, are you aware? right? Because it's happened where we've called someone else and we've said, hey, we're standing in your mother's living room right now. We just wanted to let you know we're the new cleaning company. We'll be checking in on her at least once a week. And have them say, we didn't know anything at all about that. We're the ones that are paying for it. We didn't know. And then we have to renegotiate the contract because although we thought we were having the contract with the mother, it's actually the child who's paying for it, right? So there are a lot of things that have to be worked out so that everything is just so. And I love for us to be able to monitor those conversations in a way that is honoring to the family whose home we're cleaning, and then also honoring the family of the kids that are away that are making a living and earning an income to help pay for that. And there are times, and I hate to say it, but we've had to reach out to those family members. And we've said, hey, there are a couple things that I just wanted to let you be aware of. Your dad escaped twice this week and the police brought him back to the house. So I would love if we could arrange to have a bracelet put on him that has his home address so that people know where to bring him back. And there are things like that. There was a woman who had lots of bruises when we found her. And she said, oh, no, I'm fine. Everything's okay. Everything was not okay. She lived in a 2-story house and was coming down a flight of stairs that did not have a handrail. And for some reason, the landlord thought that that was okay. And so we contacted her son. He came down on the weekend and he was able to install a handrail just so his mother could get up and down the stairs for the couple more months that she lived there until we were able to move her into a different home that was 1 story. So there are things that family members can do to help. And it's super helpful if they know that there is a cleaning company that is not just a cleaning company, that is not there just to clean and collect a paycheck and then escape, right? That there is a house cleaning company that is there to make sure that everything is just so. And so this is a concept that we have, and it is set up so that even if the money is not there, that's also an issue that we've discussed. And sometimes this happens. You have a client for a year or 2 years, and then all of a sudden they stop paying. And it's not because they don't value your service, but they forgot to pay you. Or maybe they ran out of money. There are lots of things that could happen. And so in order to make sure that everything is just so, there are scholarships that you can put in place where other clients and other customers and community help can donate to those programs where you can still go in, still pay your house cleaners to go in and to check on the elderly folks and to make sure that everything is just so. Anyway, I wanted to throw that out there, let you know what that means, because it does come up in conversation. And there are people that are wondering, how do we make a business out of this? And how do we do it in our business so that we don't go under and we don't lose money? Well, it is a process and it's something that you need to be aware of. But there will be some very good customers that you have that you will want to keep. And you will need to decide and figure out how your business handles situations so that everything is just so. All right, I hope that helps. If it does, leave your comments and your questions in the notes below. Give us a thumbs up if this was informative. And until we meet again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.